9:59. There's a few glitches I see. We're coming up on Mercury retrograde indeed. Come on in. As you come on in, please hit the like button. Be right back. Grabbing my notes. Hey, one person, as you come in, please hit the like button, like so. Welcome to Get a Life Astrology, where we are growing into divine adults and loving yourself forever, for evolving, for empowering, empowering, for expression, for whatever the last E you want it to be. That is Get a Life Astrology. Yes, so today is the weekly energies. As you come in, if you have any specific questions, put them in the chat. Please, again, hit the like button, tap the screen. Let me know you're interested. All right. So, currently the moon is in Libra. I almost didn't make it here, y'all. I literally, because Libra is normally a relatable energy. And when you mix your emotions with the moon is reactions to it. Hey, April. Hey, everyone joining. When you mix your emotions with it, the moon in Libra tends to be more peaceful and harmonizing, which is Libra characteristics. Thank y'all for joining. Tap that like button. Please like the live. So as the moon is in Libra today, getting ready to move into Scorpio tomorrow, it's in void. So I just did a video on this earlier. Because it's in void, it's kind of like lethargic, right? It's transferring over to the next sign. There's really nothing going on. It's not aspecting anything, even though Libra actually is aspecting in the last few degrees Pluto in Capricorn in retrograde. Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio sun too. Are you a Scorpio rising? Drop your rising signs, because as y'all can see, I got the house system behind me. And with the house system behind me, that means we're going to talk about y'all's rising signs and where you have certain signs in which house. All right. So let me know. Who was that? Sassy Mermaid. I love that name. I got mermaid hair. Mermaid locks. All right. So, what was I saying? The moon is in Libra, so it's aspecting Pluto actually before it moves on out and into Scorpio. So you're Capricorn rising, Sassy Mermaid. That means you're about that business. That means you have, where do you have Pluto and Capricorn? In your first house. So you are transforming your whole self-identity right now. I'm talking about Pluto and Capricorn because it's aspecting the moon right now in Libra, and big transformation. I had to step, a lot of Libra placements and other cardinal placements like yourself, Sassy Mermaid. Capricorn is a cardinal sign, Libra, Aries, and Cancer, having big transformation energy coming from Pluto being in retrograde in Capricorn, right? But the moon being a cardinal sign aspecting the Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn, it's like big transformations, especially for Libra placements, because the Libra South node is also helping us release certain energies that we are too comfortable in and need to release them. So as a Libra rising myself, I had to set some boundaries there in my own household that was very uncomfortable for everybody, but it had to be done. It had to be done in order to rise. That's for Libra suns, moons, and rising signs. Your bio says I'm not a typical person, astrologer, etc. What would you say makes me unique? I love that question. Truth, Sassy Mermaid, perfect. So this is what's going on. I am starting a business in astrology. I used to just come on here and talk a lot about truths. I attracted a lot of people about truths, and I tied astrology into truth so I would stop getting banned on TikTok. This is my 7th page. I'm at almost 9,000 followers. I got those followers within 3 months because I've made 7 pages on here since 2022. So that's a lot of pages in just a year and a half, right? And so I'm unique because I know how to get followers really quick. And I know how to, if you want to start a business, if you're already in business, using astrology to not only to get you the love and health and wealth questions that most people ask for, but how to build your business and your followings on TikTok. Thank you for that question. Nadia, thank you for the follow too, Nadia. You are a Pisces sun or a Pisces rising. So I can tell you, you have this, if you're a Pisces rising, you have Neptune and Saturn in your first house right now. Oh, is that Zane back? Hey, Zane. My daughter's on my live. The one who has the two hearts with the love in between. Can astrology point you in the right direction of career? Yes, indeed. So, Sassy Mermaid, you're the one who's the Capricorn rising, right? Aries rising. Aries risings have that North Node in their first house right now, which is setting you up for just being the leader that you are, Aries rising. You have relationships transformations going on right now because you have Libra in the 7th house where the South Node is. So lots of transformations for Libra placements and Libra Aries placements too, because that's the opposite sign of Libra. Sassy, remember you're a Capricorn rising, so yeah. Capricorn, anything, earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn are productive and about that money. So you asked me about your career match. You would look at your finance, the earth houses, which is it's the first for you. It would be the 5th for, let me use mine. So first of all, because you're Capricorn rising, and I'm going to put this on my page, y'all. You can't see the whole thing. As a Capricorn rising, you will have the ability to make money through self-identity, through the way you express yourselves, the way your first impressions are to people. What is Aquarius rising? So all the rising signs are how you come across to people. So your rising sign means that it starts in the first house. I know y'all can't see the first house very well, but let me read y'all all the things in the first house that has to do with your rising. These are all life's purposes in the house system of astrology. That's why it says 1st to 12, because each house represents a zodiac sign. So everybody has each zodiac sign in their life's purposes. Where you have planets transiting and stuff, that's how you tell your horoscope. Hey, Mona. Welcome back, Mona. You came in at the right time, because I'm talking about a Capricorn rising too. You're a Capricorn sign. And I told you about Pluto and how Pluto's in Capricorn and it's transforming a lot of Capricorn placements, especially for stepping into their authority and stuff, right? How do you know if you're rising or setting? So setting, I'm not sure is the right word you're talking about. Maybe descendant, sweet honey. Clarify that question for me. So everything that has to do with rising signs is the first house. The first house is your self-appearance, your beginnings, your new beginnings, your body, your first impressions, your attitude and approaches to life, and I already said self-identity, or I said self-appearance. So everything that has to do with you, how you present yourself, is the first house. So me as a Libra rising, for example, I present myself peacefully, harmonizing. I'm a people person, so I'm in Libra Aquarius, because somebody asked me about Aquarius risings, and Gemini risings are the communicative. They're the air signs. So you do best, you thrive well communicating with people, which is why I'm on here talking with y'all now, because I'm a Libra rising. and Libra risings also means relatable, but Libra placements, Libra suns, Libra moons, Libra risings. I'm going to get to Leo risings too, because we're almost out of Leo season, and y'all's time is up, just like the Leo suns. But nonetheless, Libra rising just means that I'm, relatable. I think that's why I have a lot of y'all here right now. Am I not relatable? Thank y'all for all the likes. We're at 1K. Yes, thank you, Zane. I'm very good at communicating, truly. Are you an air sign? Or do you have a lot of air placements? All right. Sweet honey, I haven't heard back from you. Did you mean descendant? Oh, you did. Leo risings. You have Leo in the first house. You also have Venus in the first house. So your parents' first house again, the way you self-identify, the way your first impressions to people. If you're a Leo rising, Leos, Aries, Sagittarius are fire signs. So they are expressive, motivational, inspiring, and leaders. So Leo's a fixed. Fixed means that you are persistent, but sometimes stubborn. Leo risings can be the spotlight just because Leo is ruled by the sun, so everybody's looking at you. Leo suns, Leo moons, Leo risings. Everybody's looking at you, and the best way to manifest any type of relationships, because Venus is there in the first house for Leo risings, or money moves, or even career moves, you have to deal with yourself, the way you approach a life, and the way you present yourself. Does that make sense, Layla? All right. Thank you for the follows. So to be clear, I'm a Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun, Aries moon. Mona, I forgot you were Aries moon. We didn't get to that on Friday's live. Aries moon. This is why I listen. It's the Libra moon. Listen carefully because I know you're still learning astrology. It's the Libra moon right now, and the opposite sign of Libra is Aries, right? So if you have an Aries moon, like my daughter who I had to put out today, because Libra is the moon is conjunct the South Node, meaning it's blended energy. The South Node means the stuff we're releasing, we're too comfortable there, it doesn't serve us anymore. And Libra being in the South Node is why I keep talking about Libra placements on my page a lot, because there's some things that we got to release, especially how we relate to people, especially how we don't set boundaries and let people walk over us. And my 22-year-old child had to get put out today. She's an Aries moon. Very impulsive is Aries moon. Not peaceful like a Libra moon. Very childlike too. And I know you're young. I know you're young, Mona, but and so is my daughter. But it's like the impulsiveness and the babying and all those kind of things that Aries moons tend to have. And of course Aries moons grow up. I know older Aries moons still have this impulsivity about them. It's motivating sometimes, but it's also aggressive. And just work on balance in that. That's the Libra moon energy. It's opposing, meaning there's some conflict right now with those who are Aries moons like you, Mona, and the Libra moon that's currently over us right now. Does that make sense? Because the energy today for my Aries moon child was just rah. And I was not about to be on the live tonight, y'all. I swear I was supposed to do a reading and everything. I had to reschedule it. Just too much. Hello, unknown. Did that make sense, Mona? Are you still here? So yeah, let me get into the weekly energies because I need y'all to know this. I can relate to my younger self, but I don't think I react to things like that anymore. That's good. That's probably that Capricorn energy that's kind of disciplining you and settling you, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the discipline planet. The way you get authority and boss up is to, of course, cancel out some of those impulsivities from your personal experience. Cool. Sylvia is a Libra. Are you a Libra rising? We're talking about rising signs. So let me read over some of these weekly energies so y'all can be prepared. Just like y'all watch the weather reports, I'm giving the astrology report for tomorrow, Moon Day, which is August 21st to next Sunday, the 27th. You're not sure? So you can go to my website, Get a Life Astrology, GIDALYFE.com. Put your birth date, your time of birth, and your place of birth in, and it'll tell you all your placements. It'll tell you Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, all the way down. You'll go look at the Ascendant, ASC, which is another word for rising. I'll be here for about 45 more minutes, Sylvia. So let me know. All right. Because another thing, Mona, thank you, Sylvia. Another thing, Mona, real quick, is that, and thank you for the follow. When you are able to tap into any of your supportive and challenging sides, I don't want to say good or bad, when you realize you are having a challenge in one area, you find out the supportive area. Like, for instance, as me as a Scorpio sun, I'm impulsive too. Aries and Scorpio are ruled by Mars, which is the planet of action and desires, aggression, impulsivity, war, all kinds of things. So being ruled by Mars as a Scorpio, I get rah-rah myself. That's why I had to dismiss my daughter before we both end up in CCB, Central Cell Block. But long story short, My Libra rising, which is my supportive energy, helps me balance it out. I say, you know what? I'm gonna set this barrier. I'm gonna remain calm, and we're gonna work this out like that. So sometimes you're supportive whenever you, even without knowing astrology, you tap somewhere into yourself and you find what is going to support you in challenging events. Don't know if you still hear Mona, but let me know if that made sense. Tap that likes button, and y'all, if you know your rises, let me know. But I'm gonna go through the weekly really quick, and then I'll look back up and see if y'all have any messages for me. All right, so starting on Moon Day, which is Monday, the moon will move into Scorpio late tonight into Monday. The moon will be, before it'll move into like around noon. Before the moon moves into Scorpio, the moon will conjunct the south node in Libra. Like the energy is already happening right now, and there can't be harmony and balance, like I was saying. But the south node is saying peace is no longer an option. So either you set some boundaries or get about being more aggressive, tipping the scales. Disclaimer, I also do these weeklies for me. I tap into these energies myself. Don't think I'm just preaching to y'all. King Divine Aries Rising. So I just talked about Aries Rising. Aries Risings have, you have the North Node in your first house right now because that's where rising signs start. The houses are right behind me. You can't see the first house. But you have new beginnings. You have new destinies, new projects, or something that has to do with the way you present yourself as an Aries rising. So this is good energy for Aries risings because Aries risings are kind of stepping into their leadership roles and being bossed up and the pioneers that they are. You're being very impulsive, no bullshit. You used to be, right. So that Capricorn energy matured you up. Capricorn is ruled again by Saturn, so it's the oldest planet. So you got the young and the old in you. Right, you're more grounded. All the earth signs get you grounded, especially Capricorn, because you want to be more responsible. Think of the goat. The goat grounds its heels in the mountain just to get to the top. You know, Sag, Sun, Libra rising. Hey, Libra risings and Pisces moon. We're about to have the full moon in Pisces next week. Actually, on the last day of August, we had 2 full moons this month. We had one in Aquarius. Then we had the Leo new moon in the middle of the month. And then we'll have the Pisces full moon at the end of the month. Full moon is releasing too. Lots of emotions coming up, y'all. Let me read y'all these energies real quick. So Libra risers, all I was saying is that all of us Libra risers, real quick, Telly, are learning that we have to set boundaries at this time. We have to stop letting people step on us. We have to stop trying to fix people and fix ourselves. Keep that same energy with ourselves. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the likes and the engagement as well. All right, so I was also saying that using your birth chart can help you prepare, especially with the weekly. So if you hear your sun sign, for instance, we're getting ready to move into Virgo suns, risings, and moons. I just opened my booking back up. You can, I don't think I have it connected. I'm still building the website, but you can DM me and I will send you the booking link if you are Virgo sun, Virgo rising, or Virgo moon. For Virgo season is starting on this Wednesday. The sun will move into Virgo. And I will help you tap into the energies that are happening in Virgo with the sun and Mercury retrograde in Virgo, which is going to be awesome, y'all. Let's not keep thinking that Mercury retrograde is an issue. It's just learning how to plan and be more detailed, especially in Virgo, the sign that it rules. Very important Mercury retrograde this time, y'all. So let's get busy. Let's get to business. All right. So on Moon Day, we also have the moon moving in Scorpio, like I said. The moon moving in Scorpio is always an emotional time, an intense emotional time for a lot of the fixed signs, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus. But nonetheless, when the South Node was in Scorpio just a month ago, it was more intense than it is. So now it's a little bit more calm. But let's show how you're going to tap into this. Mars Day is Tuesday, 8/22. Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. So this is a make things happen day. Mars is that plan of action. And it's time. The moon will be in Scorpio, trining Saturn in retrograde in Pisces. So trines mean the elements, the same elements. So moon in Scorpio is a water sign. Saturn in Pisces is a water sign. So that means embrace your emotions. Because like I said, it's going to be an emotional day. When we had that Pisces full moon at the end of the month, it's going to be an emotional day. Okay, water signs. This moon is rules Cancer. So anytime it's in a water sign, emotions, okay, reactions. But we're gonna do what the sun is saying us to do. With Virgo is just stick to the plan and be organized. You're seeing spirits. I don't talk about spirits much. The 8th house and the 12th house, the Scorpio and the Pisces house, deals with spirits. You got to know your rising sign, so I can tell you about that. GG rocks. What kind of retrograde will this one be? We're actually in 5 retrogrades. Wednesday is retrograde day, so we're in. So there is 8 planets. The sun and the moon are not considered planets. They also do not go into retrograde ever. Okay, so we have Mercury going to retrograde on Wednesday. We have Mars that just came out of an 8th month retrograde between last fall and this spring. 8 months of Mars and Gemini. Who remembers that retrograde? Off the chain. Information off the chain. We got, and retrogrades aren't bad. Let's stop thinking of things as being good and bad. These are reviewing, redoing, reevaluating. We should always do that consistently. Even when it's not retrograde season, we should always be reevaluating things and sticking to the plans and organizing things. That's Mercury in retrograde. We got Saturn and Pisces in retrograde. Pisces and Virgo are the opposite signs, so these planets are going to be doing some aspecting each other even this week. So let me tell you about that. We got Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn. That's the thing. That's the planet Pluto transformation that I talked to you about, Mona. By being in Capricorn, it's transforming all the authority figures and the government and the large corporations. We see that in plain sight, right? And it doesn't move into Aquarius. It's been there since 2011, since the Barry Soetoro, time in office. Pluto has been transforming all of us to realize that the government needs to be rebirthed. Long story short. Then we got Neptune, the planet of illusions, delusions in retrograde in Pisces, the sign that it rules. Neptune is showing us in plain sight wake-up calls and pay attention to yourself. And Pisces also represents understanding and closure and forgiveness. And it also represents dreams and illusions. So all the illusions that are coming out on TV and even online is Neptune tricking us, especially in retrograde. It's a lot going on. That whole Hawaii thing. I'm very empathetic, but who knows what's being truthful told. I know people in LA, because I used to live in LA all day, there's supposed to be a hurricane over there now. It's like just a light rain, y'all. It's a whole drizzle. That's the Neptune and retrograde illusions. Okay, that retrograde is showing us that we need to review what we are putting in our eyesight on that television's box. I'm thankful for you being here, Mona. Gratitude. Did I cover all the retrogrades? Oh, and Venus retrograde. We're halfway through. We're on the other side of Venus retrograde, and that's all about our love, beauty, or style, the relationships we have, and we want to, the value of those relationships. Are we needing new spice in the relationships? Are we needing to get a new relationship? Are we needing to heal in our relationships? I think I said that. Oh, and Chiron, which is not a planet. Chiron is an asteroid. It's the healing, the wounded healer. It's the way you heal and heal others. Chiron is in retrograde in Aries, so this has to do with, Aries is the first zodiac sign, so it always has to do with like your roots, the beginning, your very early child situation. and what are you healing from? So a lot of people who are I'm about to be 46. Those who are like, because I have Chiron and Taurus, so I'm getting ready to have my Chiron return. But a lot of people who are like 50, late 40s, early 50s are having their Chiron return right now. So, if you know a lot of late 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds, they are going through some healing situations. I've done a couple of readings with people in Chiron and Aries, and they're definitely talking about things from the past. In Washington from a wildfire, right? We don't know what's going on. That Neptune, that Neptune and Pisces energy has been heavy. And I know you heard the age of Aquarius. We just got out the age of Pisces. So delusions from BC, because BC was an illusion. I can go on all day, but I'm not trying to get banned. All right. Hi, Alyssa. And do you know anything about astrology? Put it in the chat and welcome. All right. So we also have the moon in Scorpio opposite Jupiter and Taurus. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion. Again, the moon is how you react to things. So you're digging deep with this moon in Scorpio to find the buried treasure, to have, the rewards that come from Jupiter. So you got to dig deep. Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. Taurus is the beautiful things. Taurus is like the flowers. Scorpio is like the roots. You got to know what's going on with your roots. You got to know what's going on under the surface for things above the surface to be beautiful. So the moon opposite Jupiter would just be digging into the details and getting under the surface of really what you want. Jupiter's getting ready to go to retrograde too. We're going to have 7 planets in retrograde. 8 placements total. Right, I knew what you meant, Mona. No, it ain't no wildfires here in DC. It's not enough trees. It's too many daggone buildings and residential apartments and construction all daggone day. They got to plant new trees because we ain't going to be able to breathe in a minute, which means I'm rolling out anyway, down to the country where there's more air, fresh air. Your Libra sun, Taurus moon, and Cancer rising. So Alyssa, okay. So Cancer risings have really nothing going on in your first house right now because there's nothing in Cancer. But you have the Leo house in the second house, the house of finances, money, security. The house, do I have a second house? Can y'all see the second house here? Daily routines, values, possessions. You see the second house right here. So you have Leo there. As a Cancer rising, you have Venus. There's something going on where you're reevaluating your finances, the way you are in relationships with people financially. And as a Cancer rising, you are also, you have the sun there too. So there's some illumination, there's some spotlight going on in this area. As a Cancer rising, have a Leo in the second house, you can manifest the money and the material things that second house brings by expressing yourself, by being more creative. Does that make sense, Alyssa? What's up, Pharaoh? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yes, it does. Okay, cool. So, we look at the houses and the planets that are currently in. Y'all ever got horoscopes? I'm 45. I used to get horoscopes out of the what do you call it? The TV Guide or whatever, the magazines. And I literally wanted to know, as a young child, how they knew how to read me so well. Even though it didn't always fit. I would read everybody's too, because I knew, Libra suns, I knew Aries suns, I have Taurus in my family all day, but it would still, I would be like, oh, this one fits me more. Then I realized I'm a Libra rising, and that's why it fits me more, because horoscopes are based on your rising, not your sun sign so much. That is why we all got to know our big 3. Your sun is your overall personality. Your moon is the way you react in your emotions and how you feel secure. And the moon also represents the mother, the feminine energy, which is Cancer. The sign Cancer is ruled by the moon. So you find security in feminine energy and mother, or mother figures. Then your rising sign is how you elevate in life and how you come across. Somebody would say, oh, if they didn't know I was a Scorpio, are you a Libra? Because I come across as harmonizing sometimes, unless that Scorpio stinger's up. or relatable or even peaceful. Indeed. Use the pattern app. I used to use pattern too. Now I use time passages. That's what the app is called that I use. In time passages, you can do synastry and all that too. You're welcome, Melissa. Hello, you're Libra Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Taurus Rising. Taurus Risings. Hey. All the Venetians up in here. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. I'm a Libra Rising. My son is a Taurus Rising. I have a lot of Taurus Rising friends. Taurus Risings, you all have Jupiter in your first house. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and rewards, abundance, also of knowledge and wisdom. So utilize the way you learn about yourself, because the first house is how you identify yourself, identity, your expression, the way you come across, your first impressions with people. So you utilize that. And Taurus risings have Leo in the fourth house. So first house is Taurus, second house is Gemini, third house is Cancer, fourth house is Leo. So right now you have Venus. Venus also, I'm so sorry. Venus also represents our finances, not just love and relationships and beauty, but our finances. So right now with Venus retrograde, I'm trying to situate this, y'all, so y'all can see. Maybe I'll just come out of the camera all the way. The Venus retrograde for Taurus risings is in the fourth house. So you are reinventing how you express yourself at home, with your family, the way you self-care for yourself, your femininity. And let me just point out, if you are a male and you have Leo in the fourth house, and females, everybody has balanced energy, or should, okay? No man should be too masculine. The only way he could forgive and be creative and expressive is if he taps into his feminine energy, and vice versa for women. The only way we can be protecting, serving is tapping into some masculine energy, or on top of our game, an authority figure. To tap into masculine, you have to balance masculine and feminine energy. There's no such thing as this being one feminine because you're a female, or masculine because you're a male. You have to balance both those energies no matter what you are. Okay? And once you balance those energies, once you are more forgiving men, because that's the toughest part for men having not enough feminine energy. Once you forgive, you will see why women are so upset with y'all sometimes. And women, when we boss up a little bit and take more authority and more charge and not be so submissive, then we will also reap some rewards from tapping into our masculine energy as well. But don't be too masculine, women, of course. Don't be too feminine, men. Balance them. Do you think we live in a firmament Z? That's another topic. And let me tell you honestly, I know so much about astrology, and I was a preschool teacher before I was working with people with disabilities. So I have dumbed down my vocabulary a lot. I don't even know what firmament is. Let me just be honest. I've heard of it. Tell me, and maybe I'll know. I can answer your question. Pharaoh's a Virgo sun, Cancer moon, Capricorn rising. We was just talking about Capricorn rising because Moon is a Capricorn rising. Somebody else came in earlier. Capricorn risings have Pluto in the first house. So the more you transform your self-identity, the more you are authority figure. The masculine energy we talk about is the Capricorn energy. 10th house is Capricorn energy. But the first house is what we're talking about, where you are giving your first impressions. So the more you are transforming that, rebirthing that, because that's Pluto being in your first house in Capricorn as a Capricorn rising, the more you reinvent or the more you change your self-identity, you will elevate, which is also Pluto energy. That is the only thing in your first house right now is a Capricorn rising. Hopefully that answered Pharaoh. Yes, I thought it was 2011 since Pluto's been there, but I feel like it was like around 2008, 2009, because that's when that Barry Soetoro guy got in the office. It's been crazy ever since. You always feel like you're transforming, changing, perfect, because Pluto's gonna be in there, but when it leaves, it'll ease up, and you'll probably be the evolved person you want to be, and it'll leave. It'll leave January 2024. So you got what, four more months of Pluto being in your first house. What mediums can I use to learn astrology and understand my natal chart? Mediums, I think, are the people that talk with your loved ones that have passed on. You can learn astrology through me, of course. Follow me. I'm getting ready to put out my ebook. The date is going to be 9/9 on the 9/9 portal. And just you can also go to my website to pull up your chart, and then it doesn't explain it in detail, but join my lives every Wednesday. I'm doing offering of monthly readings, which will be a 30-minute check-in every week, so we can discuss the current things transiting on your chart. Antonique, and my website is Get a Life Astrology. That is GIDALYFE.com. I'm sorry, GIDALYFE astrology.com. And it'll have a calculator. As soon as you open up the website, you put in your birth date, your birth time, and your place, and it'll pull up a chart with all your placements, sun, moon, the rising sign will be at the bottom. It'll say ascendant ASC, and I need to know definitely those big three: sun, moon, rising, sun, moon, ascendant ASC, to be able to tell you. These are called life purposes. The house system. Y'all, I'm doing so bad with trying to get out the way. The house system is life's purposes. So, like, whenever you know your rising sign, it'll start with the first house of first impressions, new beginnings, all those kind of things. Then we can talk about the planets that they're transiting in your house system per sign. So, for instance, I'm a Libra rising. In my first house, I would use my beauty, my harmony, and all those kind of things to bring out anything transiting in my first house. I kind of gave a choppy explanation, but follow me, Antonique. Let's talk. Mona, I think the solar system and all the planets all exist closer than what we led to believe. Yeah, I think that's an illusion too. Time is an illusion, so sometimes I feel like astrology isn't always accurate, but it's the energies. It's still accurate to me once you know how to break it down. I'm a straight guy, but I always felt like other men look at me like they're hero or they're obsessed with. I mean, a lot of men are obsessed with other men, but don't want to show it because they're afraid to tap into that feminine energy. But tapping into feminine energy doesn't mean you want to be with the same sex or vice versa. That's sexual preference. Not the same thing. Tapping into feminine energy for men is men are very non-forgiving, and that's feminine energy. Men are not that creative. That's feminine energy. Women are not that aggressive. That's masculine energy. And once you tap into those things, some of your life's issues pan out. Above, so below, exactly. Right. Just the time and place on the earth where it was above, so below is the piece I get from astrology. Cool, Farrell. You know your placements. Okay. I'm not going to dig into placements today. As a Libra rising, again, I'm setting boundaries, so I'm going to move on. I'm just trying to read through all. Somebody just visit my site. Thank you. What time do you usually start the lives? 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays for the weekly energies, which I'm trying to get through before I go off on 11. Sometimes I go over 11, but 10 o'clock Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sundays, Mercury day is Wednesday, Venus day is Friday. We're talking about retrogrades on Wednesdays, 10 p.m. and Friday. I normally let people join my live. Mona, want to join my live this coming Friday? Let me know. That's where I met Mona on another mutual friend of ours in my live. Thank you for the inquiry, Elisa. Gemini, Scorpio risings. Whew. Scorpio risings. I'm a Libra rising. So Scorpio is having Jupiter right now in their seventh house. Jupiter is in Taurus. Taurus for Scorpio rising's house is the seventh house. So the more partnerships, the more relationships you build, the contracts you come across will bring you abundance at this time. With Jupiter being in Taurus, Jupiter's about to go retrograde. So when it goes retrograde, you just review all those contracts and all those relationships and partnerships as a Scorpio rising, having Jupiter in the seventh house. Does that fit, Gracie? Scorpio moon is tomorrow, Gracie. Has it been tough like the past year and a half when Scorpio was in the south node? Every time the Scorpio moon came out, I swear it was a ordeal. Every time, especially in the relationship I just left. And my ex is a Scorpio rising as well. Every time the sun, I'm a Scorpio sun, she was a Scorpio rising. Every time that daggone Scorpio moon hit between January 2022, I met her in May 2022, and literally almost every Scorpio sun, moon, we would break up. Because the South Node was in Scorpio, releasing some of those intimate relationships that we don't value anymore. We broke up 8 times before we finally broke up in June. This past June 2023. So we were together for like over a year on and off. That made sense. Perfect. Scorpio moons can really elevate through their self-identity. Scorpio risings can really elevate through, and moons can really elevate through their transformation of, changing up the way you identify yourself and give your body, your impressions, your first impressions to others. You broke up 4 times. See, that's Scorpio. Whew. For all fixed sign places, but especially Scorpio suns, moons, and risings, we had a time past 18 months. It was crazy. Hey, Jason. You did a reading on a couple today. Both partners, South Node was in the other one's sun. Whew. Tell me they're one of their sons. That's tough. That means they're releasing. That could be. It depends on which one it is. Finally was done in Gracia in January of 2023. Yeah, we still had that. We still had it going until it just switched in July. To Libra and Aries. One was a Taurus, so the other one has Scorpio South Node. And then the other one was a Taurus South Node in Scorpio Sun. Is that what you're saying, Jason? That's off the chain. How did they even end up being a couple? Was that cray? You think Mars and Libra? I'm going to talk about Mars and Libra. Thank you, Pharaoh. Because we're about to have Mars and Libra on Sunday. Let me skip to it because y'all ain't let me get through it. I appreciate the engagement, though. I literally appreciate the engagement. As always, gratitude to all my new followers and all the engagement y'all give. So, yeah, Mars and Libra. Let's talk about it. Let me look at my notes because I want to be specific. Yes, so Mars and Libra, because Mars is a plane of action. Let me talk about Mars really quick. Mars is how we overthink instead of produce. Like we are in our heads because Mars is in its detriment in Libra. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, so that's when it's at its strongest, right? I have Mars in Leo, so as long as it's in a fire sign, it's strong too. Not necessarily in a water sign, but Mars is in its detriment or in its fall when it's the opposite signs of Aries and Scorpio. So the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. The opposite sign of Scorpio is Taurus. So Taurus and Libra Mars are not very strong. It's kind of like with Taurus, it's like lazy. And with Libra, it's a little bit, I don't want to say fearful, but it's lacking action. I'm going to get to y'all's comments in a second, but Mars is how we overthink, and we overthink so much we don't take action. Okay, And the solution to that, of course, is to focus and be consistent. Small steps, right? Small wins. Give gratitude to yourself, and progress over perfection. So, like, whatever you're trying to do, when you do it, that's progress over trying to overthink it and how it should be. Da, 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 da. Mars and Libra, especially because I think Mars and Libra moves in on Sunday. Is it Sunday? I don't know why I write so small. Yes, Sunday on the 27th. So next Sunday, Mars moves into Libra, and this is like the fight goes away. So Mars has been in Virgo, really planning and organizing lately. Everybody's kind of getting ready for next steps, getting ready for school, getting ready to come off vacation and go back to work, getting ready for new jobs, because a lot of people have been releasing themselves in jobs, and we're going to talk about that at another time. But starting new jobs or preparing to leave jobs. And then now it's getting ready to move into Libra, and it's like you're going to be low on energy a bit. It's also like giving up, unfortunately. But you just pick and choose the battles. You don't give up. You just pick and choose the battles with Mars moving into Libra. I appreciate all the likes, y'all. All right, let me get back to the comments. Again, as a Libra rising, I'm definitely empathetic and relatable and want to talk with all y'all, but I gotta set boundaries. So I'm gonna read a few messages, and then I want to tell y'all the very important parts of this week to be prepared for. Like Mars and Libra was one of them. All right. Oh, Virgo sun, and the other was Taurus sun with the sun in Virgo. I thought you said opposite signs. Okay. They're both earth signs, though. Productive. But Virgo can be, in the South Node, can be, it could be a little bit judgmental. And that needs to be released. It can be a little bit of OCD. And Taurus can be a little bit more indulging in the South Node, indulging too much. Now I'm going through stuff with your kids. Child, join the club. It's important to know our kids' charts too. Do you know your kids' charts, Gracie? Ninth house in Mars and Libra. So sometimes you might have a battle with being learning more, the knowledge that you take or give. You're going to lose it one day. Don't do that. Prioritize. And like I said, celebrate small progressions, small wins. Say F the cameras. Oh, it was in your fifth house. Lots of fun, I'm sure. Because it was the North Node. And Taurus is all the pleasurable things. All the five senses were taken care of. In your fifth house of fun and creativity. That's awesome. Congratulations, Pharaoh. What do you think about Mars in the 12th? Hidden action. Action that's not being shown. Mars and Pisces. Slow progression. Some healing still need to be done. Taking action on healing and forgiving. Especially if you're a male. Yes, Gracie. Not opposing signs. They just had opposite placements. Okay. Welcome to the live. And know the transits too of your children's places. Yes. So you can help nurture their identity. Exactly. Like, I know that I had to put my child out there. I said that earlier in the live, Jason. My daughter who has Taurus sun, Aries moon, Gemini rising. Because the Libra moon is opposing right now. So is the South Node. But if she would step into her... If she would, like, as even though she's a Gemini rising, her Aries house is in the 10th. Right? Gemini, Taurus in the 12th. I'm sorry, the 11th. So if she would tap more into technology and things and just keep herself busy and surround herself with the right people, me and her wouldn't even be arguing and up in the house all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want, and then if she would communicate more and use her, you know, I'm kind of talking all over the place, but she has that Aries moon that just was not will not quit against the peaceful Libra moon today. And I had to set my boundaries and send it to her boyfriend's mother's house. Both of them, because he's a Scorpio moon. Was not working. The Martian moons was not working in this household today. Yes, Gracie. Let me know if you need help too. Follow me, DM me if you need some help with that, with your children's charts. All right, Farrell. I love how engaged you are, but I'm going to get back to the weekly really quick. Yeah, they both have Martian moons. They're both Gemini. She's a Gemini rising. Her boyfriend is a Sagittarius rising, so they always giggling and laughing, and it gets on my damn nerves. And then they're both Earth suns, so she's a Taurus sun and Capricorn sun. So when they, he's a Capricorn sun, so when they do get to business, they're about that business and they're handling, they're being productive. But when they're being in that rising energy where they're just being silly and goofy and it's like, and then when they're being impulsive with having Mars ruled moons, stay away. Because mine is like detached anyway. I'm a Capricorn moon, so I'm detached from all that. That's why I said, listen, before one of us end up in jail tonight, you got to go somewhere else. One teaching, the other preaching. Exactly. And I know this and I know that all daggone day. I said, yeah, give me a break. All right, y'all. Because we got 10 minutes. Y'all can definitely drop some more comments and questions in the comment section. Let me just pinpoint exactly what I want y'all to pay attention to this week. Mercury Day, especially Mercury Day on the 23rd, which is Wednesday. Mercury Day is the day the sun moves into Virgo, so we're going to all feel organized. School starts for a lot of the children. I homeschool. I'm about to set the plans for my daughter to start right after September 1st. So just time to get organized this week. Mercury, of course, is about communication, knowledge, and information. So perfect day for the planet that, the sign that is ruled by Mercury to move into with the sun. So the sun and Mercury always pretty much stay together anyway, even in Mercury retrograde. So Mercury will be in Virgo going all the way back to the early degrees. And by the time it gets out of Virgo, it'll probably be Libra season. But the Mercury normally always stays, either one sign behind the sun with the same sign as the sun or one sign ahead of the sun. So it's not hard to guess somebody's Mercury because Mercury stays closest to the sun. Also, Mercury retrograde officially starts on Mercury Day. So that is, and the moon will sextile it. So the moon will be in Scorpio still. I'm laughing because the moon will be in Scorpio the day the sun moves into Virgo and Mercury retrograde starts. So it's like high emotions a bit, but you have to use those emotional feelings to decipher, are you going to be happy? Because emotions with the Scorpio moon could be intense and create fear and create obsession. A lot of things that, the Scorpio Pluto energy is. Because Scorpio is also, it's ruled by two planets, Mars and Pluto. Or are you going to be transformative, right? But with the moon in Scorpio aspecting the, which planet was I talking about, y'all? All right, Mercury retrograde. This is like you being wanting to be too right, because Mercury in Virgo is getting to the details and the plans and organization, and being in retrograde, you're OCD in it. You're checking over it a little bit too much emotionally with the moon sextiling Mercury in retrograde in Virgo. Does that make sense? I see you laughing, Jason. Your daughter's an Aries rising, Cancer sun, Taurus moon. So she has two cardinal planets and fixed on Taurus moon is exalted. Thank you for the rose. Taurus moon is exalted. So because the moon is the ruler of Cancer, which is it changes every 2 days. So it's like the moon is about being moody. Taurus gets it grounded. Taurus is productive. The moon is like what you manifest, the emotions you manifest, and the things that you manifest. And the moon, having a moon in Taurus, your daughter can be super productive and super manifesting. All earth signs, because they're about money and material things, she can literally manifest. Taurus moons is exalted. Taurus is literally producing things by stepping into their manifesting state. Stepping into the work ethic of a Taurus. The bull, you think of the bull. When the bull gets up and sees his target, it's headed for it, and there's no turning back, and it wins. Right? It wins. So think of it that way. Hey, April. We talked about Libra risings, you already know, April. And you know we're almost at the end. So I'll get back to you in a second. Let me know if you have a specific question, April. Alyssa Ann has got the #1 badge. She's moody in a bad mood all the time. Who are we talking about? Gracie. All right. The Taurus moon. Give her some projects to handle. And successful work. See? I bet you she manifests a lot of money being a workaholic. Thank you for the follow, Liz. All right. One other thing I want to point out is Venus and Jupiter. And I'm going to be tapping into Venus and Jupiter a lot in the next month, okay? Because Venus is in retrograde until September the 3rd, which is the same day that Jupiter goes into retrograde. So the day that Venus, that's in Leo, moves out of its retrograde and goes direct, is the same day that Jupiter in Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. The same day Jupiter in Taurus goes retrograde. So Venus leaves retrograde, Jupiter moves into retrograde. Why is this huge? Because Venus is squaring Jupiter. What do squares do? That brings conflicts, that brings some kind of solutions, right? Without conflict, there's no solution. That's why Libra risings better bring the boundaries and better, I'm talking to you, April, and me, we better bring the boundaries. What I was talking about, April, was that my Aries moon daughter, because it's a Libra moon right now, just tested me today, and I had to set boundaries, because either it was going to be really intense and off the chain between me and her, or we were both going to play it safe and separate. She had to move out of my house today. And with conflict will come some solutions, because she will understand that mommy meant what she meant. I said what I said, and until you get yourself together, there's no coming back here. But anyway, you found out you're going to be a grandma. Congratulations. And I'm a grandma too, so still, listen, not telling you what to do, but if anything ever comes up, still set those boundaries, because you can still be a grandma. You can still love someone. Because my daughter has, my grandson is 7 months. He's a Capricorn. He's an Aquarius rising. He's a Leo moon. First thing she made me do is try to feel guilty about putting her out. And I'm like, he's going to his other grandma's house. She has a 5-bedroom house. I have a 3-bedroom apartment. Like, no, you'll be fine. And so just know, as a grandma, you can still love your grandchild. That's what I'm saying. And I'm speaking to myself, of course, because I'm a Libra rising, without having to be, doing too much, trying to fix the situation. He's a Libra, right? Isn't that totally? He's Saturn, Sun, Saturn, and Saturn is the darkness, and Sun and Leo is the sun, the light. I thought the minute he was born, I was like, Saturn, Sun, Saturn. Wow. And then the moon is pretty much in the darkness too. So he's going to be a trip. Gemini. Remind me, Liz. You're Gemini rising? Are you a Gemini rising, Liz? Okay, but really quick, the Venus and Jupiter is... Venus being in retrograde, you're reevaluating all the values, all your relationships, yourself, your style, the way you love and the way others love you. And by being in a square with Jupiter, the planet of abundance and luck and rewards and everything extreme and extravagant and exaggerating. it Venus being, I mean, Jupiter being in Venus' sign Taurus can be, this is why we have inflation with Jupiter and Taurus, because there's not enough resources for, what is it called? There's not enough, it's sales word, y'all. Too much stuff. We're taking too much and there's not enough resources. Give me what I'm trying to say here. And Venus in retrograde, now that it's almost over, it can be, especially in Leo, it can be more self-expressive but selfish. And it can be like you're being very indulgent, especially if you are a Leo, Libra, or a Taurus, or any of the fixed signs. So when you are very indulgent, are you hoarding? Are you like collecting too many materials? Because Jupiter's in Taurus giving you so much? And because Venus is in retrograde saying, maybe I shouldn't budget. Maybe I should just go ahead and get everything because Jupiter's giving it to me. Venus has to do with finances too. Supply and demand. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. So there's not enough supply for the demand. And then when you do get all of what you're demanding with this square, it's like, this is wholeheartedly something that you need and value. Which is why Venus in retrograde is teaching us about what we value and how it's not really resonating with us anymore. Or is it? Your Gemini moon, Liz? Gemini moons are more about seeking information a lot. And Gemini moons, because Gemini is an air sign, you are not as emotional as it would be if you had a water sign in the moon. But it's more about you gathering information or even giving a lot of information emotionally. If people are emotionally in front of you, you might talk them through their emotions, or you talk yourself through emotions. What else did I want to tell y'all? Because we are at the 11 o'clock Mars minute, hour, and it is so hot in here, y'all. When I turn on my air, I can't hear. Y'all can't hear me. Any questions as we wrap up? I appreciate the engagement for y'all. Appreciate the likes, the follows. It's nice meeting everyone that's new here. Oh, I know I wanted to talk about the moon in Capricorn really quick. The moon will move into Capricorn. That's my moon. That's why I can get to business and not be so emotional sometimes. The moon moves into Capricorn on it's Friday. Friday is also one of my closest friends, her birthday. She passed on August 18th of 2015. She's been gone 8 years, and she would have had her birthday the week after she passed. So I'll be doing it up for her on Venus Day. The moon moves into Capricorn on, has to be Venus Day. Oh, it's Saturn Day on the 26th. So when that happens, because it's Virgo season, the moon will trine the sun, meaning be productive. The moon is also going to sextile Saturn. Sextiles are compatibility, supportive energy. Saturn's in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces is like disciplining yourself and closing out some things, because Saturn is ending its cycle. Anytime a planet is in Pisces, it's ending the cycle. Closing out some stuff, healing from some stuff, finding the hidden details, especially 12th house is the subconscious house too. It has to do with being in solitude. So tapping into, especially on Saturday, Saturday is the day you should be working on your own home settings, your businesses. If you have to go to work, do your best work on Saturn Day. And because the moon is in Capricorn on Saturn Day, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, it's just the best day to get to work. Discipline yourself, set some goals on this coming Saturn Day. Any questions? So sorry about what, April? Early 90s CD. New technology debuts with Saturn and Pisces. Why do you say that, Jason? Early 90s CD. The last time it was in Pisces was the early 90s? Hey, Candace. Candace, I love how I try to get in your lives before mine. We both do lives on Sunday. That's interesting because Saturn was in Pisces in the early 90s. Like 90 what? 92, 93? That was my high school years. Early to late. So middle of the, right, when I graduated and went into college. Right, because that's when also when something was in the air signs to take us into this like early age of Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. I forgot what it was. It had to be it had to be Neptune. Neptune was in Aquarius. I think so. Or Saturn was in Aquarius too, right? It was something like Saturn, or it was in Libra. It was something about, it was how we started being on AOL and all the technology started coming out. Do you remember what I'm talking about, Jason? I remember Rodney King. That was 91. I was like right in middle school. Because Pisces also has to do with not necessarily technology. That's Aquarius. But Pisces has to do with like celebrity status. You're 45. You're 45. Oh, okay. Hello. User 435111100. What's your name? Welcome. Think about it. 30 years earlier, 2 Muslim guys got unalived by 2 police. We're all 77 kids up in here, I see. 77, 78 riots because things were ending, supposedly. Could have been an illusion, though, Jason? Because I feel like sometimes some of those riots, especially Rodney King. You're 89, Alyssa? You are, you're late millennial. I'm sorry, you're not late millennial. That's like in the middle of millennial. Late millennial is 99. But yeah, there were possible illusions in my opinion, Jason, especially Rodney King. Grandma, I like that name. My name is Reby. Okay, you're born in 78, so you just had a solar return. Do you know your rising sign, Reby? We got the early 70s in here, 75. We got a lot of the depending on what part of 78 you are a Libra rising or you're a Virgo rising. I'm sorry, not Libra rising. Libra North Node or Virgo North Node. Yep, millennial. So, really quick, let's break down the generations. Let's go backwards. Currently, we're in Alpha generation. I don't know if it's going to be Beta when Pluto moves into Aquarius. I'm not sure. Before Alpha is Generation Z, which is the children who are about in their early 20s right now. And late teens. Those who are like mid-teens into babies are the Alpha generation. Late teens to mid to late 20s are the Generation Z. Millennials are like 30 to 40. Generation X is really big. Generation X, it has Zillennials, which is like the mid 70s to the early 80s. Is Zillennials, the Generation X closest to Millennials, which is what I am. 77 is my year. Jason's year. Reby is 78. Alyssa's 89, so that's millennial years. And then we have Generation X is like early 60s to late 60s. Before Generation X is baby boomers. Generation X is going through Saturn returns again right now. Baby boomers have that Pluto in Leo, which is why they're so bossy and think they know it all. Like Skin Mask, aka Joe Biden. All the old heads in office that we got to get rid of because they knew it all back then, but not no more. I can be on my high horse about that. Reby, you are Leo rising. So you are tapping into Venus retrograde by using your self identity, by using the way you come across to others. You have your sun in Aquarius, which is opposing your rising sign. You're Aquarius, so you're innovative overall. You're unique. Don't let anybody call you weird. And then you have a Gemini moon. Oh no, you're a Gemini sun, Aquarius moon. Same thing. That's your big three. That makes sense, Alyssa? I like it when I make sense. Thank you for letting me know. Let me know when I don't make sense too, please, so I can handle that. All right, y'all. Anything, we'll wrap it up. I'm going to give my shout outs as I always do. Thank y'all for all the follows and the engagement. Alyssa, Reby, Jason always. Mona was in here. April, thank you for dropping in tonight, April. Remember, I come on here at 10 o'clock p.m. every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you for being here. Who did I miss? Liz. Gracie. Alyssa, thank you for being here. Thank you for the roses, y'all. Thank you, Farrell, for being here. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, everyone. I think I've covered everybody. This is a lot of comments. I appreciate the engagement, y'all. I think I've said every Maya Lad. I don't think I got to your rising, Maya. Let me know next time. I'll be back on Wednesday for retrograde, and we're going to talk about Mercury retrograde heavy on Wednesday, y'all. Let me talk my talk, please. All right, if I didn't shout you out, please know that's because I haven't gotten to the top of the list yet. I think I did just now. Sassy Mermaid, yes, she was the first one in here, so shout out to her for coming through. Thank you for accepting my knowledge, Reby. They are grumpy, aren't they? Listen. All right, y'all, it's 11:11. Ashe, we say Ashe at 11:11, 10:10, 5:55, 3:33, 2:22, 4:44, which is what I keep my following on. I probably will follow some of y'all, so I got to go take some followers off because I keep it on 444. If it's not on 444, it doesn't have almost 10,000 followers, it's not me. I got a lot of copycat pages out here. People impersonate me. I don't hit you up for readings. I will definitely hit you up with information and send you a booking link if you'd like to book something, but I don't hit you up for readings. I don't use Cash App for my stuff either. Be careful for these illusions. Bots, especially on TikTok and Instagram and all the platforms. You learned a lot about yourself, Alicia. Grateful. I'm glad. That's all I want everybody to do is understand themselves. All right. So y'all have a wonderful moon day tomorrow and the rest of the week, and I'll see y'all on Mercury Day. First day shout out again if you have Virgo risings. I didn't see any Virgo risings here tonight, or Virgo suns, or Virgo moons. I don't think I did. But if you do, hit me up, DM me, Virgo, and I will send you the booking link for your free reading. Thank you for the hearts too, Reby. All right, y'all. Peace. I'll talk with y'all on Wednesday on Mercury Day. I'm out.